Okay.
Because I always, when I set these things up, I always set them up to record automatically, and I've lately just forgot to do that. So,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I'm recording it. So there we go.
Okay.
All right. So which one of the tell me which one of the students did you go in and work on?
Let me take a look here. I'm gonna go into task stream.
Not
The
fine.
the ones that were a little odd to me were the ones where you have to go into the I guess it's where the dispositions is. Let me look here.
Well, did you want to hold on for a second. Can I right. Can't yeah, you could do you want to share your screen with me?
Sure,
It'd
I'll
probably
share it
be
with you.
easy. Yeah, it'd probably be easier to do that.
Okay. Let me
Yeah, I'll have to forward you over some of the pictures from the wedding too, so you can take a peek.
Oh, I would love to see that. Did it go good? Did you have good weather and
Oh,
everything?
87, 90 degrees every single day.
Oh,
not,
that's
not
nice.
not a drop of rain.
Good.
It was great. We
Good.
had a wonderful, wonderful time. It
Now,
was
did you
just
take any of the
phenomenal.
kids with you?
No, hell
No,
no.
no.
Are you kidding me? No, 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 no. All right. So the
Okay.
the best way to do it. So okay. So scroll up and
Okay.
who did you pick a student already? Did you?
No, I went into
Oh, gotcha. Go ahead.
this
Sorry.
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what you do is yeah, click continue.
Let's see. It doesn't want to. Oh, what's that? It doesn't want to continue. Okay.
Well then, you know what you could do is go back
Hmm.
to your Wilmington, click on the Wilmington University.
Okay.
Yeah. And then go into, go to the
Right
top,
here.
click, no, no, no. Oh yeah, you're in evaluator mode.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Um, yeah, click on that. Click on evaluation required.
Okay.
Let's see how it comes up. Okay. Well, you don't have birth to second. That's not you. That's the, that's interesting. Okay. Sorry. Go
This
back
is
to,
not okay.
yeah, I know, right? That's a little strange. Click on the
Yeah.
Wilmington University. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And then go to MSc traditional route. Click on that. And then, okay, so here, so one of the students, they should have done this. So let's just we'll go through the list of students real
Okay.
quick. Last name is Baum, Baum. So type in Baum and then click
Okay.
search. Oh, wait, oh, hold on one
Oh
second.
no.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Um, well, that's interesting because that means he didn't submit anything to you. Okay, let's try
Okay.
another one. Try Evans, Evans, but don't click yet. Scroll down,
Hmm.
and you want to click on Clinical Practicum 1 where the little box is. Yeah, click there,
Okay.
and then click on yeah, continue.
Okay.
Okay, good. So she
Okay.
did. So she did. So then, if you click, so
Hmm.
oh, wait a minute. This is Jennifer Wolf. See here, the record at the bottom left is
Yep.
Jennifer Wolf. Interesting. Well, that's okay. She's special ed. That's okay. That's fine.
Okay.
So what you see here is her record, and this is for practicum 1.
Hmm.
And under observation number 1, is she has submitted it to you.
Okay.
So to begin the process, you would click on evaluate.
Hmm.
Okay. So then she has her lesson plan. She looks like she's uploaded a couple of other documents. That's appropriate and fine. In addition to that, she has filled out her post observation. So you could click on either open full size if you wanted to take. I mean, you don't have to do it right now,
Hmm.
but you could
Okay.
take a look at it there. Or if you click on score work,
Hmm. Okay.
2 windows will appear, or at least they should. Oh, click OK. That'll be okay.
Okay.
Oh, only 1 window appears. Okay, now that's odd. Usually 2 windows appear.
Uh-huh.
But this is the scoring rubric.
Okay.
So what I'll show you how to get out of this in a second, but let me go through it real quick. So obviously what's going to happen here is you're going to have reviewed her post-observation form.
Right.
You'll have watched the video, or depending on how you may want to do this, you may want to have this window up and the video window up, and as she's going through, you may want to add information or details. It's entirely up to you, Stacie, how
Okay.
you want to do that. But essentially, how this works is, as you're looking at managing classroom procedures and
Hmm.
instruction, because for what you're doing, you're only evaluating in component 2 and 3 for special education.
Okay.
So as you go through and you watch the video, let's say for managing classroom procedures, you feel that she is at a 3 score.
Hmm.
So you would click anywhere in
Right.
that field, and you can click on it now just to show you what happens.
Yeah.
Then down below, the 3 appears in her
Hmm.
score. Then right next to it is the comments. And so
Okay.
what I typically do here is I would give evidence of either A, what the requirement is for this particular area,
Hmm.
and maybe some examples as to how she has reached that level, whether it be the 3 or 4, whatever you
Right.
determine is. You could also just state very specifically why you think she received a 3.
Okay.
And that manner of feedback is up to you.
Okay.
Um, as long as there is a level of feedback, I think, which responds to or right equates to the level of performance
Right.
that they've demonstrated. Now, I will say this: the special education group that you've got,
Hmm.
they particularly, they all are teaching as like para-educators already. So
Okay.
many of these students are going to have a little bit more refined approach. So some of the ones that you're going to be watching, they're going to be a little bit better than the regular ones, like
Right.
the K-6 population.
Okay.
But anyway, and that's it. That's basically it. So you just go through.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
then
this is just like when I used to grade the interns, right?
ab,
This is
ab,
the same thing.
it's the same thing.
Okay.
Absolutely. So it's, you click a score, enter some
Uh-huh.
details, click a score. So if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it is exactly the same thing.
Uh-huh.
Eventually, they'll have the full rubric score on the left-hand side.
Hmm.
If you have any overall comments, you could enter them there. But if you've entered them in throughout the fields, then I don't think it's really necessary to do that.
Okay.
And at the very end, you'll see, scroll down just a little bit more for me, I'm
Hmm.
sorry.
That's
At the
okay.
very bottom, when you're all done, you click on the little circle and it record as final and release evaluation.
Hmm.
And then when that's done, you click on the blue button, submit evaluation now. The score goes into task stream, and
Okay.
then they get a little email saying, hey, your score's in task stream.
Right.
And then all you have to do is send me a little note, and then well, actually, no, you know what, you could go in too, because I think you have access to the course now.
Uh-huh.
I could show you how to go into that and show you how to give them their complete or incomplete checkoff,
Okay.
because essentially in practicum, if they get a 3 or a better, we don't give them a numerical score in the course.
Okay.
There's a difference. In the course is pass or fail.
Okay.
So, if they're a 3 or a better, we are saying that you are satisfactorily moving
Hmm.
forward. Because
Okay.
what we don't want to say for the course level grade, well, you're not doing, you're doing a B work or a C work. We're just saying you're satisfactorily progressing. Now, in task stream, it does give the numerical score, 3, 3.5,
Hmm.
3.74, whatever. If there's anything below a 3, that's the red flag.
Okay.
And in Canvas, we would give them an incomplete, and then we would set up a time frame to have a conversation as to why they scored below a 3. So
Okay.
luckily, knock on wood, so far nobody in the course has scored below a 3 this particular
Oh,
semester,
good.
which is not bad. I mean, we've got some on the cusp. I've got a 3 here. I had like a 2.99. I was like, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt,
Hmm.
because let me see if you get better in this lesson number 2.
Right. Now,
But
what do
go
you
ahead.
do with all these people who are turning in late? I get all those things, late assignment, late assignment. Do you accept them? Like, what do you do with those?
Well, some of those actually aren't really ours either.
Okay.
Some of those notifications are for students in other classrooms, and then some of them are ours in our course. Now, some there had been and this is my fault too. Last week when I was away, when I set up the module on 2 of the assessments, the assignments, I completely forgot to set up the manner in which to upload the work.
Okay.
And so I got a ton of emails over my break, and I was like, "Oh crap!" I tried to go in and fix it, but the internet connection was so poor, I just couldn't do it. So I just emailed everybody and said, "Look, I totally get that, and you may have gotten the email announcement. I said, I don't know if you got that or not. I just said, look, there was a human error here in terms of the setup, so I'll accept everything that's late." So yeah, typically no. I mean, if it's late and it's on a normal structured timeline and everything is working correctly, I typically don't accept these things late. Now the only things that I have absolute flexibility, and I provide them absolute flexibility, are their lesson plans and their lesson implementation. I mean, I want them to get it to us in a timely manner, yes. But if the mentor teacher doesn't, I had an email today, just example. One of the mentor teachers was like, Mr. Wells, can I forget the student's name? It was Lauren, I think, Lauren Linz or something like that. Can she do her second lesson in the latter part of December? I know that's beyond what you wanted, but this is why I'm asking. And I'm like, of course. I mean, I'm not going to,
right.
Not going to, but if they're not submitting their not like their task 1 stuff, that I'm asking for, each module. Oh yeah, I don't give them credit for that. I mean, I give them a negative, and we have some students who technically, I could say, look, you haven't followed through. So then at the end of the class, when they submit their final work and their final task is horrible, and I have to rip it to shreds.
Right.
I'm going to say, look back, you never submitted anything during the continuum of the class here for feedback, and then you just submitted this task 1. I'm sorry, but I'm not giving you an opportunity to redo it because you never took advantage of it. I mean, why set up, right? I mean, what's the point? Why set up all these weekly structures to assist the students? But if they're not going to take advantage of it, then I can't,
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, but for what our purposes are here right now, I mean, absolutely. When you would be finished scoring Jennifer's work, you would then, you would then click on submit evaluation, and then you jump over to the course. You would go into gradebook, and then you would give her the check mark if she rescored a 3 or higher.
Okay.
And it's really that simple. But let's do a double check here. Now, are you in Canvas right now for
No, but I can get into Canvas.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great, because that way then we can go into the College of Ed video gallery and make sure that you can see her video.
Okay. Yeah, I know that I do have access to the videos now.
Oh, super. Good.
Yeah, I did go into that, and I checked for that. Let me see, faculty and staff. Okay. So,
it just takes a minute.
Yeah, it always takes longer than I think it should. I'm so impatient anyway.
Oh, I'm the same way.
Something was wrong. Please try again. Okay. Of course, it's not going to let me in now.
It might be yeah. Probably your yeah, maybe your password.
Did I don't think I've changed my password. Let me see.
Because it looks like it came up on the.
Yeah. Huh. Not sure about what that is. I might have to play with that.
Okay. Well, the point here is you've had access, and it may be just you may have to just shut down and start up on a new web page.
Yeah.
So here's what you want to do with this page, though. At the bottom, it says cancel.
Yeah.
And then discard.
Oh. And what did it do? Take me out of task stream now?
Yeah, we're sure.
Something weird's going on here. Okay, let's go back into there. That's weird.
That is. Yeah, that is strange, isn't it?
It is. I don't know why it did that. Okay.
Yeah, just do to continue login and terminate your other session. And then if you go into traditional route, because we just want to verify that it's closed out, and then type in Wolf at
Wolf
the
at the
top.
top.
And then click search. Jennifer Wolf, good. And you're on clinical practicum, so click continue. And then, okay, so click evaluate.
Okay.
And then what you want to do is you want to say cancel evaluate later on the left-hand side.
Okay.
And that'll clear it back. There you go. There you go. And it clears it back up. Now, one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that you have access to all of these students. Can you go back to search? And then I know this is a pain in the butt, but
that's okay.
Could you type in BAUM, B-A-U-M?
Yeah.
And then click on search? All right, she doesn't come up, so she needs to she's never sent anything to you, so we need to fix that. Let's do Evans, E-V-A-N-S, and then search. Same thing. Okay, she needs to send it to you. Garner, G-A-R-N-E-R.
Hey, good morning.
And then search. Nope. Okay, great. That's not good. And then LeBron, L-E-B-R-U-N.
R-U-N. Okay.
LeBrun, I guess. And no, all right. So then those individuals I need to send a message to because I did that already and I asked them to resubmit. So I'll email them directly, CC you, say, hey folks, we have, you didn't resubmit to Mrs. Andrzejewski. Cheapers, I'm so sorry.
You call me Bob's wife.
I know. God, that's hysterical. Oh my God, that's true. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, Bob and Kathy.
God, Bob and Kathy. I remember he was actually a really good superintendent.
He was great. He was actually, I worked for him when I was in high school. He was the assistant principal at Dickinson, and I worked in his office with him. And he and Kathy turned out to be really great friends of mine, really nice people.
He always treated, well, I got to know him in two capacities, of course, and just a fair individual.
Yeah,
just
he really was.
fair, Yeah. Here's what I'll do then. I'll send this email, say to students, make sure that you've submitted it because you haven't. I cleared it out. You need to submit it to Ms. Z. Please do that so that then you'll have access. You'll go through exactly like you did there, searching through, making sure you've clicked on the Practicum 1 Clinical. Now, the other side of this too is once you get that done, then you have all of them done. Why don't we well, you know what? Go ahead and stop sharing, and then I'll bring up my side, and I'll show you what I've done for the course side, and I'll show you how that is.
Okay.
All right. Now I got to share my screen. Where am I here? Yeah, there we go. So that's it. Actually, I may not be sharing it correctly. Let me jump back in. Yeah, I'm not. That's there. Okay, I think that's, there you can see the grade book, right?
Yep.
Okay, so what I've started doing is, I've gone in and scored, and you have access to, you can jump into the grade book so you can see that. Here, let me show you where I've gone to get to that. So this is our home page, and then I just go down to grades, here, click on grades, and the student listing will come up. And so for formal observation number 1, which is, where's formal observation number 1? Where are we? Here we are. Yep. No. Oh my gosh. I'm not reading well today. Formal observation. Yeah, here we go. Formal observation number 1 is right here. You'll see that I've just given them check marks. So for example, let's go down to Jennifer Wolf, and let's say you scored her, she was 3 and above. You'd click in the little box here that is connected to the formal observation number 1 and her name. And then it appears where you can then select the complete or incomplete. And then you just click on complete and it would automatically update. And then she gets a little email saying, hey, this has been graded for you in Canvas.
Okay.
It's an automatic update.
If she gets a 2 or less, what do I mark there?
So what I typically do, then you go onto this little arrow and then you can click on incomplete. and then down in the comments say, Jennifer, we do need to chat about the score of below 3 that you received. Send me an email and time for us to connect.
Okay.
Something of that nature. And that way, then she receives that notification once the grade is submitted. Then she receives that notification as well. And then from there, it's a matter of just connecting and talking about it. And of course, from the email that they get from TaskStream and the email that they get from the gradebook, they're already pretty much aware of that they've scored a below a 3, and they're going to want to reach out anyway.
Okay.
So they're going to want to know why, of course.
Right.
And that's how that process is on the side of Canvas. One of the things that I've been doing that I need to do is I go through and I have to do grading of their knowledge of students, their 1.1.2, which they submitted a week and a half ago. And then I have knowledge of students, which is 1.2.1, which was submitted last week. And so I'm going to be going through those and looking at what they've submitted. Now, here's a great example. Kelly Evans, she didn't submit. So I'm going to go in and, I'll do an X, but what I'll typically do here is I'll go in and I'll say, this is ungraded. In fact, I'll do it right here. Complete, and I'll just put in, work not submitted on time, period. Okay. So, and that's the point. Now, I'm not going to accept it, I even sometimes write in there, I will not accept, a late submit, because why, if you're not going to follow through, right. So anyway, okay. And now they're working on the next, this is this week's work, knowledge of students. This is 1.2.2. And, we already have some students lining up and submitting. So I'll go through those two this weekend, play a little catch up on that because I'm just a little behind. These are very quick. They're very quick assignments. They to watch a video, identified. They went to go to the College of Education video, look for a particular video that I identified, and I boiled it down to a particular component, like 3E or component 2C, and they were to identify particular traits that were positive in nature. Okay. It helps them identify what are positive traits or positive, or when a student is demonstrating positive goodness characteristics in those particular components. So, and it's really not that difficult. But anyway, so that's where we are here, and I know that our role for you and I is one for this semester was to go through the observation evaluation report, and then hopefully next semester, if you're still interested, quote unquote, hoping you are,
I am.
then is to then next semester relinquish more control to you in the online environment, so that you have the majority of the students, and you also have the majority of the students in terms of the work that I've been doing in the course. So that way it's really, relinquishing that more to you. So, in terms of responsibility and also equating to pay, then you would then be responsible for more of the actions and the activities and the communication. And then also go ahead. Sorry.
I think that'll be good, because that'll give me, I'll have more of the big picture, I think, of the course and what's expected.
Yes. Didn't want to just throw it on your lap all at once. I think, and it's a good way to do it, because I think starting with observation evaluation of candidates is the first, and because that's grandiose and large in itself in its own right.
Right.
And then next semester, then you and I can then go through, and what we can do is, as we look over and build modules together and put them together and prepare them, that can be the part where it's, I can be almost like your sous chef. You'll then take more control, and I'll be in the background. And then when there's, hey, Tyler, can you help me do this? I don't know how to do it, or this is wrong. This is an error. Can you help me fix that? I'm right there for you, and I'll fix it. Whereas, you will send out the announcements. You'll send out the greetings.
Right.
You may answer a student, you would go in and say, okay, Ty, you're going to take these 5, let's say you have 10, 15 students in the class next semester. And so I may get 5 and you may get 10, and so I'll do 5 of observation, evaluation, and their all the other work. And then you would do the 10. And that
Sure.
way you get paid a little bit more, but it also equates to the level of responsibility.
Right. Right.
I think that's the best way to do it, because then you're
Okay.
not totally alone. You know that you have me in there to adjust, fix, and work, and then
Right.
also answer questions that you have. Um, and then by, over the summer, it's then truly relinquishing absolute control to you.
Right.
And then by next fall, you'd be on it on your own.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
It's great. No, it is awesome. Um, anyway, um,
So
yeah,
do
go
you
ahead.
want me to go in and do you want me to look at those things that you said, like the knowledge of students things that were turned in for the students that are mine?
Well, I've already probably done many of them
Okay.
already. But if you want to go in to see how I've been like providing feedback,
Yeah, sure.
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's fine. I think that's actually a good thing, because then you can go in and see the progression of their first, submission of section 1.1.1
Uh-huh.
to where they are right now. Yeah, not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, not a problem. Um, okay. Okay, so I'm going to email the students that did not resubmit to you directly.
Okay.
These guys right here. In fact, I'll send
Mm-hmm.
that list out to you again,
Okay.
and then I'll send it to them. I'll CC you in and just say, by the way, you didn't resubmit to Miss Z. Please do that.
Mm-hmm.
What else am I missing, Stacie?
Um, I think that's pretty good. So really that's all I have to worry about right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I was a little nervous because when I was going in looking, I was like,
Mhm.
there's not that much been sent to me. So thought I was doing something wrong.
No, I don't know. Not at all. Not at all. I
Okay.
just think
Okay.
they may not have gotten the message, or they forgot to. But
Right.
it's something we
Right.
can. I will send that out today to them and say, look, please do this. There's not fault of yours. It's understandable. When you have two instructors, it's understandable that sometimes you forget to submit X, Y, and
Sure.
Z. And so yeah, no
Okay.
worries.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that sounds good. Okay. Well then I should be good for now anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and
Okay.
it's not like it's late or anything. There's still plenty of time to provide feedback and information. So
Right. Right. Okay.
yeah,
Well,
awesome.
that's great. Then I will get on that.
Awesome. Great. Great,
Okay.
Stacie. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right. So if there's anything else, just let me know. And
Okay.
then, two, I think as you're going through those, if you find a hiccup, just send me an email and we can jump on a quick call. Between now, this weekend and this week and next weekend and even next week, my calendar is extreme. I on purpose cleared my calendar because I do have a lot of catch up to do on a lot of
Yeah.
different things because of last week. In addition to that, I don't know what's going on, but I don't know why we haven't heard anything back from the state of Delaware yet for the grant.
Yeah. We haven't
And
heard from UD either, so I don't think they've heard either.
no, nobody's heard anything. So Relay hasn't. I know U of D, we haven't. So I'm just
Okay.
thinking, I'm almost, and I don't want to poke the tiger, but I kind of
Right.
want to reach out to Rob Gray and
Right.
Shannon and say, guys, what's going on? But I'm making plans regardless to
Sure.
begin to open up the presentations to our practicum 1 and 2 students to the year-long residency, regardless if we know what's going to happen.
Right.
We're running out of time, and I can't
Right.
wait anymore. So, what I might do is I might initially construct some online kind of initial kind of conversations with students,
Sure.
like an online, and then those who are truly interested will meet face to face. I was wondering, what I may do for the online virtual is invite, like, say, yourself and maybe Sandra
Mm-hmm.
Countley, maybe like Sherry Brooks, that gang,
Right.
some people from Kent and Sussex to be online, so that maybe they could provide some information, feedback, level of integration, just anything that may come into a conversation with students.
Right.
And then I'll let you guys know when I'm going to do that. I'm probably shooting for sometime middle of December,
Okay.
and then I'll start doing these email blasts to students as to, like, hey, we're going to be meeting a live meeting, and that's when I might ask some of our graduates to come, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
have some of them, mentor teachers come physically there and meet with students. So
That would be cool. Yeah,
that's what
that would be good.
I'm hoping to also have that information, because it's great when you can say, hey, look, you're also going to get this amount of money. It's certainly
Yeah,
an incentive. So,
exactly.
oh
I
yeah,
think that's I think that's good. Question for you too.
yeah, yeah.
We had talked before about having the student teachers give like an hour or two a week at
Hmm.
with Avid. Is that to do tutoring? Is that still okay?
Yeah, I think we should
Okay.
absolutely jump into that, and we should really start taking a look at how that would work. I think
Okay.
that is very appropriate, and I think it needs to be done. And I don't see why our candidates can't do that.
Well, what I was thinking is, and what I would like to do is start because they have to have so much training before they start.
Hmm.
Well, Avid wants some ridiculous amount of training by the time they're done, like 16 hours. Well, that's just not feasible with student teachers. So what I wanted to do was break it down to and give them maybe like after school one day, an hour and a half one day, an hour and a half the next day, and
Hmm.
then just let the when they're working with the students in the schools for those hours that they have, just have like the teachers that they're working with kind of talk with them, guide them through, and count that as part of their training time.
Well, and that's what I was due to, is which is if part of their training time and part of the time that they participate in the Avid for Red Clay,
Mm-hmm.
we could equate to additional professional development time, and that would lessen. So they have to do 80 student teaching days.
Uh-huh.
So one of the things that we could say is if they spend, let's say they spend the equivalent of an entire 8 hours for training, and
Mm-hmm.
you would let me know what that would equate to.
Right.
We could say, okay, you're participating in this training after school, then we equate that to professional development, and we could truncate by one day. Maybe it,
Okay.
or maybe it's equivalent of 2 days of training. So then we would truncate 2 days. So they would only have to do 78 days.
Okay.
And I
And that
think,
could give them some flexibility if they got sick or whatever, too.
oh, like tons of flexibility. And
Yeah.
also it's a matter of saying, look, you're doing this, you're doing this for Red Clay. We're doing it for you. Like
Right.
you're doing this XYZ. So we're going to give you, 2 less days than everybody else because you're giving more time. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
Okay.
a nice little incentive to motivate them and connect them with the whole process as well.
Right.
Instead of saying, oh, you've got one more thing to do. This
Right.
is, yeah, because you're doing this, we're providing you the incentive of saying we're
Mhm.
reducing a day or two. I mean, you can tell me
Right.
how many hours it'll ultimately be, and then we can calculate and move it from there.
Great. Yeah. And my goal is to try to put them in schools that are really close to their main
Homeschool.
school so that
Yes, that makes sense.
and if they're elementary, hopefully we have a situation where they could do it in the morning before they go to their elementary placement.
Hmm.
It's all going to depend on the high schools though, because some of them still have those rotating schedules,
Oh
and
yeah.
so the days change and all. And I'll just have to really let the cooperating teachers know that you've got to be really flexible with the hours that they run over there and do this and come back. Like you have to. It's just part of it now.
Well, I think that would be very appropriate. Do you know how many hours over the course of the 80 days that they would be engaging in Avid training?
Well, how many hours?
I mean,
I
you don't have
was,
to. You could get it to me later, Stacie. I don't want to
yeah,
put you on the spot. Sorry.
yeah. It would be, well, what they would have to do is probably 2 hours a week be in the other building just
Hmm.
to do the
Okay.
tutorials.
So we're and then so in terms of then so that's 2 hours each week, and it's 80 days. So that's 160 hours, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's pretty good for the students in terms. I mean, those.
Well, no, it wouldn't be that much, would it?
Oh, would it? Hold on.
It's 80 days. So how many weeks is that?
That's well, it's roughly 16 to 17 weeks.
Okay, so it would be
Oh, what am I
what?
saying? That's right. Not 80
Yeah,
days. No, 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 no. So it'd only be about 20 to 25 hours, right?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. No, that's perfect. Okay, yeah, I was a little. What did I do? Oh, I multiplied by 80.
You did,
Duh.
yeah. You were
It's like
thinking
two
80
hours a
weeks.
day, but 2 hours a week, right?
Yeah, it's 2 hours a week.
Oh no, that's manageable, extremely
Okay,
manageable, and I think it's
okay.
appropriate too, and it gives them more experience.
Right. And then I'll give them the training after school. I'll front load that. I
Hmm.
was actually thinking too of maybe doing the first session of training at the beginning of every student teaching session. I do a little orientation for the
Hmm.
kids that are going to be here. And maybe what I'll do is while I'm also doing the orientation, we'll do an hour or maybe an hour and a half that day. So it'll be time that they'd be away from their school, but I can let the clinical educators know, hey, they're going to be here this morning from 8 to 11, say,
Oh
and
yeah,
then they'll come back over to you guys.
I think that's a great idea. I,
Okay.
I think that works real well, and
Okay.
again it goes back to my goodness gracious, it goes back to the benefit of both our student and your students as well. So
Right.
I
Right.
can't. I love it. I think it's a great idea.
Okay. Great. Great. Then I'm going to really get working on that because that's something I'd like to get in place for this spring.
Okay, super.
Okay,
All
sounds
right.
good.
Thanks, Stace. I
All right.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Ty. And yeah, send me over some pictures. I want to see that wedding.
Oh, I did. I just did.
Oh, did you? Good. I'll
Yeah,
send.
yeah.
I'm going to go over and see Chris in a little bit. I'll show her too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Yeah. We just, yeah, when when you've met that person, it's just
Yep.
good stuff. So,
Yep. You know what? It really is, and it makes everything so much more worthwhile.
oh, well, you're not kidding there.
It
You
does.
you are not kidding.
I met my husband. Well, our mothers were friends when we were growing up, and we started dating when I guess I was 16 and Tony was 18, and it's just been me and him ever since. And it's been
Yeah.
a really great thing, and I feel so fortunate.
As we should,
Yep.
right? I mean, we
Yep.
should. All
Yep.
right, Stace. Well, listen, have a great day today.
You too, and
And
congratulations again.
thank you so much. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. Thank
Yeah.
you. All right. Well, listen, enjoy the weekend. And if there's anything you need, reach out and we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks,
All right.
Ty.
Thanks, Stace.
All
Bye.
right, bye-bye.